Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Coming to you from beautiful Moses Lake, Washington. Just been on a brief road trip coming back from Ephrata. Yes, we were supposed to have a hearing today on a statewide injunction, but you know what? A funny thing happened on our way to an injunction, and that's what we're going to get you up to speed on. So today, let's spend a few minutes, got some interviews to do, and let's talk about how there will be no injunction on Washington's assault weapon ban today. Okay, so as you know, the case that we're talking about today is Guardian Arms versus Inslee. There was a motion at 2:30 this afternoon, or right up the road here in Grant County, in Ephrata, at the Grant County Superior Court for a statewide injunction. One of the motions, however, made by the Attorney General's office prior to getting to the merits of the motion was to remove this matter to Thurston County. That's right. Basically, the Attorney General's office wanted to move the lawsuit from over here in Grant County to the governor and attorney general's own backyard. That motion, unfortunately, was granted. It was granted for various reasons. We're going to talk to Pete and Austin, the two attorneys that were handling the case on behalf of the Silent Majority Foundation, and kind of get their spin on it. So without further ado, let's hear what they had to say right after the court hearing was done. I'm standing outside the Grant County Courthouse right now. We just finished the arguments here in Grant County. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We're not real excited right now. What happened, as I understand it, I got Pete, I got Austin here at the Silent Majority Foundation. Now listen, these guys did a fantastic job today, but unfortunately, Austin, I understand that this matter is being removed to Thurston County. Is that right?
It is.
So can you explain to the viewers how that went down today?
Yeah, so the court took issue with the fact that we brought this under the UDJA, the Uniform Declaratory Judgment Act, and that we brought a temporary restraining order. What that means is we filed this, as the court said, while the ink was still wet on Governor Inslee's signature, but there was no actual injury to this point. So there's been no harm to any person, and so really the kind of crux of the issue is there is a state official involved. Governor Inslee and Attorney General Ferguson were allowed to intervene in the action. And because their actions are being challenged, this case is getting removed to Thurston County.
So I just want to understand this. If we had an FFL here in Ephrata or somewhere in Grant County who'd already been arrested for breaking the law, then there would be the injury for this matter to stay here? Is that what the judge was saying?
I think so. The issue that we've discussed briefly right before going on camera here was whether an injunction would issue statewide or just locally here, given the FFL is located here in Grant County.
Okay. Hey, Pete, you know, obviously you were in the courtroom as well, and this is an issue that the Attorney General had briefed. We knew that was coming up. We're a little surprised by the ruling. What was your impression, and what do you think about the ruling, and what's the next step moving forward here?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I believe that there was cause to keep it here in Grant County. We have people who are harmed in the fact that they can't sell these firearms. Otherwise, they're absolutely breaking the law. And so it seemed to me that it made most sense to bring it here and stay here. Obviously, I'm not wearing the black robe. I wear a suit to court. And so the judge disagreed there. He believed, as Austin very well said, that there needed to be some injury in fact in Grant County. So with that, he did, as Austin said, two critical things. One, we pled the case and then repled the case. Mm-hmm. We had an amended petition. And in that amended petition, we said we're squarely attacking the law, not what Jay Inslee or Bob Ferguson have done or could do. And we tried to really bring that distinction out. And by bringing that distinction out, we thought we would have the ability to keep it here. And Judge Hill kind of walked that statement back and said, well, when he said that he was going to allow Attorney General Ferguson and Governor Inslee back in the case as interveners, it was pretty clear where he was going to go with that.
Okay, yeah, and he even talked about the amended pleadings that you guys had filed and things like that. So, you guys have been with this, doing this since the very beginning. How surprised are you by this actual ruling today?
Well, I'm pretty surprised just because I think the actual enforcement of SHB 1240 would fall to local law enforcement, whether that be sheriffs or county prosecutors actually prosecuting violations for this bill.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really the state patrol that's going to be out enforcing this stuff as much as it's going to be your municipal police departments, your county sheriffs, and stuff like that. And so what do you think the next step is for this particular case now? I know it's being removed to Thurston County, and I know this is really early, but Pete, what do you think is the next step here moving forward?
Yeah, we have two options. We could appeal this decision, and that's, quite frankly, to me, that's an injustice to the Washingtonians. because that's just going to delay the inevitable. So my thought is we're probably going to end up removing this at Thurston County, and I believe we should move directly under the Uniform Declaratory Judgment Act, as well as possibly even a preliminary or permanent injunction. Just go straight to the core of the issues and force the quickest appeal of that court to its division.
Almost like an expedited review on the issue on the merits.
Yep. And then that would allow us then to, if denied, and hopefully it's not, but if denied from Thurston County, we could then take it directly to the Supreme Court.
And Austin, from a timeline, when do we anticipate, now with this matter being removed, when do we anticipate having a hearing set over in Thurston County, and when can the viewers next expect to maybe see some litigation happening on this particular case, which is Guardian Arms v. Inslee?
I don't know about an exact timeline, but I know Pete and I will be working on a motion for PI here immediately and working that angle. This also brings to my mind, so the Attorney General's office actually filed a motion to remove our 1705 challenge up in Stevens County yesterday. That one could be a little bit different. I'm not going to preview our argument there, but I think there's some differentiating circumstances there. And to go back to the enforcement angle, I'm a little bit disappointed that the CPA, Consumer Protection Act, was brought in as kind of a jurisdictional hook to move it to Thurston County. But from my research and my personal experience, the Attorney General's action brings CPA actions in the county in which the violator resides.
Well, that's exactly right. And it really gives the Attorney General unfettered discretion to just wreak his havoc at whatever local level he chooses to do.
Right.
Okay. All right. So once again, I want to thank Pete and Austin for taking a few minutes out of their really busy schedule to kind of get us up to speed. Yeah, it is not good news. It's not the end of it, but clearly this being removed to Thurston County is not particularly boding well for the plaintiffs. Now, let us not forget there are still two other lawsuits. There is one in the Western District of Washington, that's Hartford v. Ferguson, and then there's one in the Eastern District of Washington, that is Banta v. Ferguson. They will both have motions for injunctions as well, so I've told you all along that we may lose some battles along the way, but damn it, we will win this war. Listen, if you have any other questions about what happened today or anything else related to House Bill 1240, you should know how to contact Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's right there in the description box. In the meantime, I do want all of you to remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. From beautiful Moses Lake, Washington, thanks for watching, and stay safe.